Hello, everyone. We are back with yet another Uno Tech Bite, and this time we are continuing with part 2 of our Uno Chef's recipe for using the DrawerFlyoutPresenter. Now, the first part we had talked about the basic example of setting up your drawer flyout. So, defining a flyout, we'll just show the code, defining a flyout, and setting the flyout presenter style and the placement. And so the next step, what we're actually going to do is we're going to be showing how to customize the drawer flyout, and creating this responsive drawer flyout is what we're using inside of Chefs. And so this is how we're going to get our nice functionality of actually having that drawer flyout open from the bottom when you're in a narrow, and when you're in a wide or wider, you can open from the left, or sorry, from the right. And we can play with the properties of the DrawerFlyoutPresenter and actually fiddle with how it opens, how far it opens, and all those fun things. So, like we had seen in our last example, we have this flyout defined here, and we actually define this as our own custom flyout class because of what we're about to do here to customize how it opens from left to right and from bottom and top. So out of the box, if we don't touch this flyout at all, it'll do the from the bottom flying out of our jar. So if we look at the actual code behind of this responsive jar flyout that we've created, which of course inherits from flyout. Oops, sorry. We have some fun little logic here in our on opening for our flyout. We actually grab the flyout presenter that's underneath, and we start setting properties on it through our attached properties that are available to us from Uno Toolkit for the DrawerFlyoutPresenter. So let's back up a bit, and we'll go to the the documentation for DrawerFlyoutPresenter in Uno Toolkit. And so what this actually is this is the specialized content presenter that's going to be used within the template of your flyout presenter for those pre-built styles that we had given to you for bottom drawer flyout presenter style, top drawer flyout presenter style, etc. And so everything that is available as a property on the drawer flyout presenter style that's within that flyout presenter template, those are all exposed to you as attached properties that you can set on that presenter, whether it's through code behind or through styles or through whatever you wish, right? So these properties are available to you. These properties are available to you. And these are the ones that we're going to use in our code behind for our custom flyout on our presenter, right? So here's where you could fiddle with the open direction, the drawer length. So this is an important one. You can actually set this to say, I want this to take up a certain ratio or percentage of the screen or of the window. And you could fiddle with the light dismiss layers and the availability to have gesture and all that stuff. So if we go back to our code now, our on opening method that we've set up to listen to the flyout itself will grab our flyout presenter, and depending on the breakpoint, so depending on how wide our current XAML route is here, we can actually play around with some of these properties, right? So we're setting the drawer length depending on if it's wide or even wider. We don't want it to take up too much of the real estate of the page, right? And so we'll take a look at that in a second. And of course, the drawer direction. So this is where we're actually making it open. The drawer open direction should open to the left, meaning it'll start from the right and it'll open to the left, right? Look, it'll slide left. And that is where we actually override what's happening from our basic flyout XAML that we were looking at before that set the style to the bottom drawer flyout presenter. This will override that and reset the open direction to open from the left instead. And then again, if we're back, if we're no longer in a wide state, so if we're in this else case here, then we just let it stay with its normal open direction set by the style itself. And we just define the drawer length to take up the whole width of the whole height of the screen, actually. So that's why it goes all the way to the top of the screen. And so we could take a look at that in action now. So like we had mentioned before, so if we bring this to our narrow, you'll see it'll go and it'll take up the entire window, and it'll open from the bottom like we had seen before. And so now what is interesting here is if I open up this wide-ish, not super wide, it'll open up from the left and it'll take up more of the screen real estate, right? You'll still see part of it here. And if we go even wider, wider, it would look weird if the drawer sort of took all of the window all the way up to where it was before. So it takes up a little bit less of the screen real estate, and you see it opens up like this. And so that's all driven by these properties that are down here. So the drawer length and the open direction and things like that. And so we in Chefs disable the gesture support. So these two things are being set to false for gesture support. But you can enable this, and this will allow you to grab that drawer as it's open and sort of move it back and forth like this and swipe it closed if you so wish. And so that is how we created this sort of customized, responsive drawer flyout that opens from different sides depending on the width of your window. So go ahead, check out the code, check out the documentation as well for Drawer Flyout Presenter. And what we'll be doing next is we're going to be injecting this into the navigation logic to get this to actually work with navigation extensions itself, rather than having to do custom logic to launch these flyouts. So that'll be in our next part. Definitely go check out the code for our responsive drawer flyout in Chefs, and we'll catch you in the next part.